and welcome back to the Acne series. As a culture, we really underestimate the vital importance of digestive tract health. Eating is the most intimate way in which we interact with our environment. It's also, from the perspective of our body and immune system, the most threatening thing we can do on a daily basis. What we eat can kill us if it's the wrong thing, so our body takes eating very seriously. The sheer volume of blood flow, immune tissue, and lymphatic tissue that's present around our digestive tract is truly impressive. But it's not just us that we have to think about when we're talking about gut health. The trillions upon trillions of bacteria that inhabit our digestive tract are, more and more every day, being considered the equivalent of their own organ due to the importance of their many roles in our body. Immune system regulation, hormone balance, fatty acid production, neurotransmitter production, thyroid hormone conversion, the list goes on. And it may seem very vague as to how all of these functions affect your acne, but trust me, the health of your skin is intimately connected to the health of your intestines. So first and foremost, intestinal selective permeability. Extremely important. In order to be a healthy, functional, thriving organism, your digestive tract, in this case specifically the protective lining of your intestines, the mucin, needs to be intact and selectively permeable. This means that your body gets to choose what is allowed to be absorbed into the bloodstream from your intestines. However, if our intestines aren't healthy, if we've been exposed to high levels of dietary fat, if we've taken several rounds of antibiotics in our lives, if we've taken non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs regularly, if we've taken the oral contraceptive pill, if we have starved our beneficial bacteria of the fiber they eat, or if we harbor populations of pathogenic bacteria in our intestines, spoiler, most people do, the mucin of our intestinal barrier degrades and cell connections become loose. They become hyperpermeable. This means that microscopic contents of your intestines can leak into your blood. This is leaky gut syndrome. Some of the more concerning contents that can leak into the blood include partially digested proteins. When our intestines aren't healthy, these amino acid chains leak into our blood and are identified by our immune system as foreign invaders, which triggers an immune response. Antibodies are made, inflammation is triggered, and blood cells are mobilized. It's the whole shebang. Another culprit in this inflammatory and immune response is bacteria. When the gut lining becomes excessively permeable, such as after a high-fat meal, potentially pathogenic bacteria and their toxic metabolic wastes, called endotoxins, are able to leak into the blood. These endotoxins are predominantly coming from the bacteria, both alive and dead, found on and in animal products. These bacteria get into the bloodstream and cause a major immune and inflammation response. More immune system activity might sound great, right? Not necessarily. Overreaction of the immune system leads to higher rates of allergies and food sensitivities and sets us up for future autoimmune diseases. It also leads to systemic chronic inflammation, and that kind of inflammation directly causes and aggravates acne. This is why some people find that their acne is triggered by certain foods, like gluten, soy, or cow's milk. One way to try to remedy this is to strictly avoid the triggering food. The other way is to heal the hyperpermeable digestive tract, which we will talk about in just a few minutes. Another way our gut health directly affects acne has to do with our intestinal or bowel transit time. The average person eating a standard American diet has a bowel transit time of 3 to 5 days. Think about that. While you also consider the digestive process of high-protein foods, that is often described as bacterial putrefaction. So if you're eating the standard high-protein, high-fat diet of skinless chicken breasts and wild-caught salmon, dairy products, and eggs, you have 3 to 5 days worth of protein putrefying in your guts, while the high-fat meals and pathogenic putrefaction bacteria create an environment that degrades your intestinal barrier, creating leaky gut and allowing partially digested proteins, bacteria, and a huge toxic load into your bloodstream. And that, my dear friends, is fucking disgusting. But it's not just putrefying protein and bacteria that's getting back into the bloodstream. Your body tries to get rid of plenty of unneeded stuff through your bowels. And while it's sitting around in there for several days, you can bet that it is subject to reabsorption, leaky gut or otherwise. I'm talking about ingested toxins, I'm talking about excess hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, I'm talking about excess cholesterol, and I'm talking about fecal mutagens. All of those can contribute to inflammation and thus chronic acne, but that last one sounds especially terrifying, and it should, since these compounds, like cholesterol-binding bile acids, are capable of causing major inflammation, damaging your DNA, and initiating cancer. I mean, I can't think of a better cancer-causing cocktail than a bowel full of this shit. Pun definitely intended. Sitting in your body for days, all of it, subject to reabsorption. And maybe you're sitting there like,
that's disgusting and all, but I'm 14. I'm not worried about cancer. I'm worried about going to homecoming with a huge zit on my chin.
And I'm like, dude, I get that. I don't want you to go to homecoming with a huge zit on your chin either. But luckily, we can fix your zit proneness and decrease your risk for future cancers at the same time. So bear with me and just keep listening to Crazy Aunt Lily. So what are we gonna do about it? First of all, eat a low-fat diet. This does much more than increase bowel health, and we will talk about the benefits of a low-fat diet a lot more in this series. And second, avoid endotoxin and protein-rich animal foods like meat, dairy, and eggs, which also happen to be the main sources of dietary fat. Next, avoid processed junk food that's full of refined flours and oils. Eat plenty of fiber-rich, whole plant foods that starve pathogenic intestinal bacteria and feed the beneficial bacteria. Also, purposely do your best to avoid non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, Advil, Aleve, and other painkillers. Only take antibiotics when it's absolutely necessary, like if you have an infection that is potentially life-threatening. Not if you coughed twice and you refuse to take the time to rest so you can get better and you asked your doctor for a Z-Pack. Antibiotic apocalypse. Concentrate on getting plenty of bulky fiber, aka prebiotics. This bulky fiber, like the insoluble and soluble fibers found in whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and leafy greens, are excellent at creating bulk in your intestines. This bulk gives your intestines something to grip onto while peristalsis pushes your food through your GI tract. This bulky, absorptive fiber also holds onto excess hormones, cholesterol, bile acids, heavy metals, and other toxins as they move through your intestines, which prevents the reabsorption of these harmful substances and thus helps to lower your cholesterol, balance your hormones, and decrease your cancer risk, as well as helping to manage virtually every major cause of chronic acne. Prebiotic fibers are the favorite food of beneficial gut bacteria and include different types of fibers, both soluble and insoluble, that are found in whole plant foods. Whole grains, vegetables, and fruits are great sources, but the powerhouses of prebiotics are legumes and resistant starch. I won't go into too much detail for time's sake, but if you want more information, please watch some of the amazingly informative videos by Dr. Greger of nutritionfacts.org. Those will be linked below in the description. Eat as many whole plant foods as you can possibly fit in your face. Clear out that digestive system. Make your good gut bugs happy, well-fed, and prolific. Poop at least once, twice, or thrice times per day, and you will be well on your way to curing your acne. Also, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, specifically in terms of digestion. Taking in plenty of fluids means that your body won't have to reabsorb so much poopy, toxin-rich water from your large intestine. This means you'll not only have a shorter bowel transit time, but your liver will also be exposed to significantly smaller toxin load. And we'll talk more about liver health in the next episode. If you're having a hard time with acne, if you've ever taken antibiotics, which is everyone, if you've regularly used non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, if you've been on the oral contraceptive pill, I highly, highly, highly recommend supplementing with high-potency, broad-spectrum refrigerated probiotics for a while. If you want more details as to the whys and which ones, please watch these two videos. I don't give specific product information, but using my specifications, you'll be able to find an appropriate product at your local health food store. Alternately, these probiotics are highly recommended by microbiome researchers and doctors as being the best of the best. If you splurge on these, get the sachets, not the pills, and make sure they are shipped on ice. Next video in this series, we'll be talking about the effect of environmental toxins on your liver, kidney, and lymphatic health, and how the cyclical effect directly causes acne. If you have more questions about gut health, probiotics, or the type of low-fat plant-based diet I'm talking about, please check out the videos I've organized in the description box below, and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new. Thank you for watching. Until next time, make better choices for yourself, including your intestines/skin, and take really, really good care. I will see you guys very soon.